Hello darlings, it's good to see you all again, and thanks for joining me for today's video. You're not going to believe what has just happened. Oh my god, I still can't believe it. I left my van door open and just for 5 minutes, and then when I came back to my van, oh my god, I couldn't believe it. Oh my god, this little so cute, this little grey and white kitty took off out of my van. Oh my god, I thought, how cheeky. Oh my god, a little kitten came in to investigate my van, and then when he saw me he took off. And I'm going, oh hello gorgeous, don't run away, and he just took off. That's the first time that has ever happened to me. So anyway, today I'm going to be cooking a vegetable soup with a twist. So, what is that twist? Well, actually, that twist is chicken schnitzels and vegetable soup. Yes, that's right, you heard correctly. Chicken schnitzel and vegetable soup. So, what I'm going to do is, at the moment I've got the pot on the stove heating up, and then I'm going to heat the pot up for about 10 minutes or so, and then when it's heated, then we're going to cook our chicken schnitzels, and we're going to cook them properly until they're crispy and thoroughly cooked through, and we're going to cook them in the same pot. And the reason why I'm doing that is because of the flavour, because we want the flavours of the chicken schnitzels to go into the soup. Now this is a delicious and nutritious soup, it really is. And if you're not feeling well, if you have the flu or whatever, oh my god, this is a great recipe and it will pick you up in no time at all. And you can also check out my other cooking videos, like honey and soy chicken kimbap, vegetable and bean soup, and my other soup recipe, which is called a delicious and nutritious vegetable and mixed bean soup. So if you check out those other videos and get those recipes, those other soups are great for picking you up too if you're not feeling well. So don't forget to check out my other cooking videos too. And then once I finish cooking the chicken schnitzels, then we're going to take them out of the pot and put them aside until last. And then we're going to start on our soup. And once we put all of our ingredients into the soup, then we will let it boil, and then after it comes to a boil, then we're going to let the soup simmer for a couple of hours. And then after we've done that, the final thing we're going to do is dice up the cooked chicken schnitzels and then put them into the soup, and then we're going to garnish with some fresh parsley. So let's get started, shall we? Okay, so I've got here some vegetable oil. We'll add a little bit to the pot, like so. Now, you can use whatever oil you want. I like to use vegetable oil because that's my favourite, but you can use whatever oil you want. You can use extra virgin olive oil, canola, sunflower, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just up to whatever you prefer. Now, I've got here 4 chicken schnitzels. These are going into the pot. Okay, I'll put that aside for now. these around a bit. Like so. Okay, so we'll put the lid back on here. Okay, there's our board, can go there for now. Okay, so that can go into the rubbish. So the chicken schnitzels are going to take about 15 to 20 minutes to cook properly, depending on how high you have the heat, of course. So we're going to cook them thoroughly and make sure that the breadcrumbs on the chicken schnitzels are nice and crispy. And then once they're done, like I said, we're going to remove them, set them aside until later, and then we can start working on our soup. Okay, so I'm going to put you on pause for a minute while I grab some vegetables, so don't run away. Oh, don't just go down there. It's a bit windy today. I'll put you up there for now. Okay, so while the chicken schnitzels are cooking, I'm going to start to prepare the vegetables. So I'm going to start off with, we've got a red capsicum. I've also got a green capsicum, broccoli, garlic, potatoes, onions, what else do I have? Chickpeas, and a few other things. So, actually, I'll put you on pause. I need to adjust the camera. So let's start cutting up this. And remember, the more nutrients you have in your meals, whether you're having soup or whatever, the better. Okay, so I've done the red capsicum. Now I'm going to chop up, I'll put you over there. I'm going to chop up the green capsicum. And then I'm going to turn over the chicken schnitzels, which are nearly done. Okay, so now I've cut up both capsicums, green and red. Okay, and let me show you. So the chicken schnitzels are coming along nicely. They're almost done. Where's the foil? And then when they're done, I'm going to remove them from the pot, wrap them up in foil, and then we're going to set them aside until last, and then we'll start working on our soup. Okay, so we've got the chicken schnitzels wrapped up. Let me give you a look at them. Wow, beautiful, yummy. They smell beautiful. Okay. Okay, let me put them over here for now. Okay. So now, we're going to start with our soup. Okay, so turn you around a bit more. Okay, so let's put a little bit of water in here for now. We can always top it up as we go. So I'll start with the soup. So I'm going to start with putting the capsicum in, and whichever vegetable I cut up at the time will go in. So just turn you around like that. Okay, so now I'm going to start off with preparing the garlic, carrots, onion and potatoes. Okay, so I've roughly chopped up the garlic, as you can see. I've used a few pieces of garlic because I like to use a lot of garlic. So all of it goes in there like that. Got a bit of a stir. Now if you don't have garlic, fresh garlic, you can use garlic mince or garlic powder. If that's what you have, that's okay too. Okay, so let's do the onions. Okay, so now I've done one onion. Like that. Okay. Beautiful. A little bit of a stir. So it's starting to look good. It smells beautiful already. And it's already quite colourful. You've got the white from the onion and the green and the red from the capsicum. So now I'm going to add some potatoes and carrots as well as some herbs and spices. Okay, so I've got some saffron. I only need a little tiny bit. Look, so this is really expensive. I got this from the supermarket, and I'm just going to use my fingers to break it up into there, like that. Saffron, really, really good for you. And I've got some fresh parsley. And if I can get it out, where are you? And some rosemary. Now I'll just put in just a few. Like so. Well, maybe a couple more. I think that will be enough for now. I can always add some more if I want to. just going to roughly chop the parsley. I grew this parsley myself. Like so, and that can go in there too. I'll give it a stir. And I'll give you a look. Oh my God. I think it was a motorbike. Sorry about the noise, you should stop barking. But you know what? Even I know that those are loud sounds, well, they are for you, but I appreciate them because I'm totally deaf, as you know, because I was born deaf. However, I can't believe I'm saying this. Oh my God, I still can't believe it. Because a couple of years ago, I had a cochlear implant thanks to my fairy godmother, my real life fairy godmother. God bless her, she's up in heaven now. I know God's looking after her somewhere. And ever since I've had the cochlear implant, this is the first time I've been able to hear in my life. And my surgeon told me that it takes up to 5 years for your brain to actually process being able to hear properly. So I've still got another 3 more years to go. And so therefore, because I have a cochlear implant, that means I can turn my hearing on and off, because I can only hear when I wear the processor. So as soon as I take the processor off, everything goes back to being silent again. And that's a good thing about having a cochlear implant, is that I can turn my hearing on and off. Okay, so I've got some sea salt. Some ground black pepper. Some Italian mixed herbs. Turmeric. Just a little bit. Thyme. And some ginger. Let's give it a bit of a stir. Now, I make a large pot of soup every week, so this pot of soup is going to last me 1 week. Sometimes I make the soup last me a little bit longer, but it depends on how much I eat, of course, because I usually have like about 2 to 3 cups of soup every day. But if I only have, say, 1 cup of soup a day or 1 small bowl, then the soup will last me a lot longer. And the reason why I'm always making soup is because I need the extra nutrients in my diet because I'm anemic, as you know. So therefore I need to have as much nutrition as I can get. And my dietitian recommends that I have, because I was anorexic for such a long time, that's why I'm anemic now. So she recommends that I have at least 2 cups of vegetables with lunch as well as with dinner. And I found that it was really hard to eat 2 cups of veggies until I discovered the soup. And the soup is a great way to be able to eat lots and lots of vegetables and nutrition, like 2 cups, you know, without getting full so quickly. So if you have to eat, say lots of vegetables, like a couple of cups of vegetables all the time, because you have to, like you're diabetic or anemic or whatever, I recommend having it in your soup. That's what I do. Okay, so I've got some bay leaves. I'm just going to use a couple, like that. Just go in there too. So whatever soup I make, I always put in a couple of bay leaves. And I've got some buckwheat as well. Just put that in there. Just turn you around for a minute. Give it a bit of a stir. Okay. And we've got here some mushies. Woohoo! Look at them, aren't they big, beautiful? And it's a good idea to put mushrooms in your soup too, because of the vitamin B. Okay, so we chopped up the mushroom. I've just roughly chopped the mushrooms, in they go. Give it a bit of a stir. Back around. I need a drink. No, that's better. And I also need to get one of those tripods. You know those tripods that turn around 360? So I'm going to get one of them next week, and hopefully, just hopefully, they will make hopefully it will make a big difference to my booties. Okay, so we've got one leg. I only use this part of the leg, but you can use the whole lot of it if you want to. So I'm going to put you on pause while I cut this up. Okay, so we cut up the leg. Okay, it goes in here. Give it a bit of a stir. I need to add some more water. I want to show you something quickly. Take this off regarding this water faucet. Now these are good But see how it only goes down to half the bottle. Now once the water level gets below here, I have to refill that water up so I can use this tap again. And give it a shake. So what I'm going to do is add the water like this. So I'll fill this up later. Give this a bit of a stir. Let's put the lid on here now. So now I've got a potato. I'm going to put you on pause while I peel this. Okay. So, with the one potato, and take the lid off here. And a little bit of a stir. Put the lid back on. Okay, turn you back around. I've got a couple more potatoes. I'm going to take the skin on this one. Okay, we'll just roughly chop the lid off. Okay, put the lid back on. Okay, so I'm not going to put this one in yet. I'll put it in later. I'll see if I've got enough room first, because I've still got other vegetables in, so let's do them now. So where are we? Okay, so I've got a turnip, I've also got a parsnip, some carrots and broccoli. So I'll put you on pause while I cut this up. Yeah, so there's your beetroot that goes in there. It gives it a beautiful colour to the soup. And then it goes on there like so. What else do I have? Okay. Okay. So I've got the parsnip. I'll do this now. We've also got some peel cabbage as well. So hopefully we'll have enough room for everything. You want to off? No. Okay, so I've done the parsnip. Okay, in there. Give a bit of a stir. Let me give you a look. Beautiful. Alright, I need to put you on pause. Okay, so we've got some carrots, and they can go in here. Turn them around. Give it a bit of a stir. So, the wind has blown the gas stove out, so I'm going to have to reheat the gas stove. And I've also got some chicken and vegetable stock cubes too, which I'm going to put into the soup. Again. And put the lid back on here. Okay, let's make myself comfy. Well, sort of comfy. So I've still got another onion, another potato. But I don't know if I'll be putting them in yet or not because it depends on how much room we have. And we've also got some broccoli and what else do we have? And sweet potato and zucchini. Plus we also have some pearl cabbage too, as well as some chickpeas. Let's put these in now, shall we? These have already been washed. A little bit of a stir. Okay, so give you a look. Beautiful, isn't it? I can't believe that the wind has blown out the stove. So I might have to bring the stove into the van to stop the wind from blowing out the stove. And I don't really like cooking with the stove in the van because it's an open flame, even though occasionally I do. But that's what I say, when you are using a stove and you're cooking inside your van, always make sure that you use precautions because that's most important. Yeah, so I've got here some Vegemite. I always add a little bit of Vegemite to all of my soups. Might need to beautiful. Okay, so the reason why I use a bit of Vegemite, I always put a bit of Vegemite in my soups, is because Vegemite has every single vitamin B. And vitamin B is really important for your diet. And just mix that in like so. And give it another stir. Okay, I'm starting to feel a little bit cooked now. Alright, so I'm going to need to put you on pause for a minute while I cut up some more vegetables. Okay, so we've cut up the potato, the sweet potato. Goes in there now. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful and very colourful. Okay, let's put the lid back on that. Okay, so I need to put you guys on pause again. Okay, so we've cut up the zucchini. You can go in there. Give it a bit of a stir. The lid goes back on. Okay, so guess what? I'm going to have to bring the cooking into the van because it's too windy. So I'll put you on pause and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so this is what we have now. And the rest of the top this up. And this is going to go into the soup. Again. This is good. I think we have enough room. We've got a big piece of broccoli. Cut it up into a little floret. Like so. very colourful now. You can see. We need to bring it back up to a boil. So up here we have some pearl cabbage. We can't use all of it because there's not much room. Roughly chop it up like so. Okay. Another spoon. I'm going to need to add some more water. Let's see if we can add just a little touch more. Okay. Okay, so I need to put you guys on pause for a minute. We need to grab some more water, and we also need to add the chicken strips too. So I'm going to add a bit more water. Back up there where it usually goes. I'll push it up there. Just like that. Oh no! I definitely need to get another tripod. So when I get paid next week, I'm going to buy one of those new tripods that, you know, those space ones, those fast, what are they called? Yeah, so I'll get one of those new tripods, the ones that go for, they follow your face and they turn around 360. So I'm going to get one of them when I get paid next week, and hopefully they will be able to. Okay, so I need to put you on pause again, and then we're going to chop up the chicken strips. Look at that. Beautiful. Mmm. Yum, 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 yum. So we're going to dice this up. Like so. Take the lid off here. And that goes into the soup. Oh, yum. Beautiful. Yum. Yum, 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 yum. Okay. Give this another stir. Break it all up. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, and it smells beautiful, and it's really colourful. The only thing is, I'm not sure if I'm going to get these chicken strips in here. Oh no. I can't believe it. This is the worst tripod ever. I've had this tripod for ages now. Oh my god. No. I need to put you on board. Finally. I finally got it fixed. The thing at the back that you turn around, that was loose, and that's why the phone kept going around. Oh well, at least I fixed it. So the thing is, I don't think I'm going to fit these 4 chicken strips here into the soup. So we're going to try 2. Let's see if we have enough room. So let's see how we go. Hopefully we'll have enough room to stick them all in. If not, it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to roughly dice them up. is that when you're making a chicken schnitzel for the soup, you have to cook the chicken schnitzels first and make sure they're thoroughly cooked properly like when you cook them normally. Yum, 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 yum. And then, once they're thoroughly cooked, then you remove them from the pot and you set them aside until later on. And then, after you've done the soup, then you put them back later. Yeah. There's no way that I can fit 4 chicken schnitzels in here with everything else. And I haven't ever put the pasta in here, meaning the spaghetti in here yet. I still want to have room for that. Maybe I could get away with one more. Okay, I'm going to... I'm going to gamble and I'm going to add one more chicken schnitzel. So that will be 3 chicken schnitzels. That will be in here. There's not much room. But I figured if I leave the spaghetti out, I can add an extra, well, hopefully. Hopefully I can add this other chicken schnitzel. So let's see how we go. So remember, if you're cooking meat for your soup, such as chicken schnitzels, kebabs, stuff like that, the trick is to make sure that they are thoroughly cooked properly first before you make the soup. Okay. One more stir. Very heavy, the pot is now. I can't believe how heavy it is. And we need to let the flavours to go through that. Back on. Okay, so I'm going to have to finish this video here now because it's been going up for an hour now. So I didn't think it was going to be that long. So what I'm going to do with this soup now is I'm going to bring it to a boil, bring it back to a boil again, and once I bring the soup back to a boil, excuse me, then I'm going to bring it back to a simmer, and I'm going to let the soup simmer. Probably let the soup simmer between 1.5 to 2 hours. And then after I finish cooking it, then I'm going to garnish with fresh parsley. So, So that's my video for today. This is my vegetable soup with the twist. It's funny, doesn't it? It's chicken schnitzel vegetable soup. Like I said, if you're not feeling well, you have the flu or something, this is a great remedy and it will fix you up in no time. And also don't forget to check out my other cooking videos too so you can get some more ideas. Okay, so thanks for joining me for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you learned something too. Now remember, when you're making this soup, you have to cook the chicken schnitzels first before you turn it into soup. And the reason why we cook the chicken schnitzels in the same pot as the soup is because of the flavors. And then once the chicken schnitzels are thoroughly cooked, then we remove them from the pot and we set them aside until later. And then you can start making your soup by adding your stock and broth and water, your herbs and spices, whatever vegetables you have. Today I used brown potatoes with sweet potato, carrots, garlic, onion, broccoli, what else? Mushrooms. Oh, and I always put a little bit of Vegemite in my soup in every soup I make because of the vitamin B. And you can't taste that the Vegemite is in the soup. So you'll never know that it's in there. And that's what I mean. If you're making soup with Vegemite in it, you only need like about half a teaspoon. Not a lot, that's all that you need, and it's got every vitamin B. And even though I know all of these mushrooms in this soup are mushrooms of vitamin B, I've still added a little bit of Vegemite because Vegemite has every single vitamin B. So all I'm doing is adding as many nutrients as I can as possible. And then once you've added all the ingredients that you want, then you bring the soup to a boil. And then once it comes to a boil, then you turn the heat down and you simmer the soup for a couple of hours. And then after you've done the soup, then you add your chicken schnitzels at the last minute. Which I've already added them now before I've done that, but you can do it either way, it doesn't matter, because there's no right or wrong way. But you do have to make sure that the chicken schnitzels are cooked thoroughly first and remove them before you put them back into the pot, okay? So how long? Oh my God! It's over now. I'm going to have to end this video here. Sorry guys, but after it's too long. So, please subscribe to my channel to support me if you haven't already done so. And don't forget to give my videos a thumbs up. So I'll see you guys in the next video. So until then, please take care and drive safely. Bye bye, darlings.